Right. Hi guys, this is just a very quick video. I'm going to try and be quick because it takes forever to upload these things. This is a quick video of the tutorial of the ab wheel rollout exercise. I've been meaning to do this for a long time. I've just never got round to it. I keep forgetting. But the ab wheel, this is a power wheel, but the ab wheels, most folk will have seen them. They use them in gyms. You sort of roll yourself out, holding the handles. It's great for your core. But the reason I wanted to do a tutorial in this exercise is because in all the years I've been in gyms, I don't think I've ever seen it done correctly. Now it's a really good exercise, but it's only good if it's done properly. And I think the mistake most folk make is that with a lot of core work, and specifically the ab wheel, is that the focus tends to be so much on rolling the wheel out as far as possible. Under the assumption that the further you roll it out, then the better it must be for your core and your ab muscles. Now that is only the case though if you're able to maintain the correct alignment through your hips, knees and shoulders, and most folk aren't quite ready to go too far or go out that far because they can't maintain that alignment. So what I'm trying to say is that sometimes a progressive exercise is only worth doing if you're able to still maintain the right position while progressing it. So in other words, sometimes it's better to regress an exercise and do it properly instead of progress it just for the sake of progress sake, because sometimes if you progress it, it ends up less effective than it would be if you regressed it but really done it properly. So very quickly, this is how I think it's commonly done, because the focus is always about how far you can get the wheel out. So very often this will be the start position, and then what you tend to see is the aim will be to roll the wheel out as far as possible, and the bum will stay back, and then roll it back up. Okay, so that's probably the most common way it's done. Now this isn't at all about criticising folk. This is simply about trying to help, actually, just giving you some recommendations on how to make the exercise more effective for you to really work your abs. So in other words, I want you to try and strip it back and consider what you're trying to do. You're not trying to get the wheel out as far as possible. That's not your goal. Your goal is to work your core as effectively as possible. And a lot of the time, going out too far will get in the way of that. So you're almost like missing the forest for the trees in that respect. So to do it properly, the key is alignment through the hips, shoulders and knee. So the start position should be here. Your start position should allow your hip, knee and shoulder to remain in a straight line, and the aim is to use your core muscles to maintain that straight line throughout the entire movement, and that includes on the way back. So for that reason, you don't need to go very far. Most folk will be surprised at how challenging this is, and it's because if they do it properly, they'll suddenly be really engaging their core muscles effectively. The idea is you just need to go a couple of inches to begin with. For a lot of folk, that couple of inches, while maintaining a nice knee, hip and shoulder position with a straight line, will really start to make their ab muscles shake, okay, and then you slowly bring it back while maintaining that position. So that wee shake that I just referred to, I like to use analogies, and the one I came up with for this is called the biting point. So if you imagine you're up on a hill in a car and you're trying to release the clutch at the same time as pushing the accelerator down and getting the right amount of bite so that the car doesn't stall, that bit that it shakes at, you'll find that it shakes. That's the biting point, as it's known, obviously, and that's kind of what you're trying to do here. You're trying to find that point where you're getting your core muscles to work like mad, but without losing your posture position. And the posture position is hips, knees and shoulders all in a straight line. So you're trying not to lose that position while engaging the core, i.e. that's the biting point. And if you lose that position, then the car will stall, or your body will stall, and your core will switch off. It won't be worked as effectively. So you're trying to maintain the biting point throughout the movement. So the hips come forward. It's also worth remembering that you squeeze your glutes, and you also have to try your hardest not to round your shoulders, because all of this correct posture is about standing nice and tall with a neutral hip position and your shoulders back and down and your chest out. So that's what you're trying to do to get the most out of your core work, and that's when it becomes much more effective as well if you concentrate in these main positions. So shoulders back and down, chest forward, hips, knees and shoulders all in a straight line. Then you come forward, hold it for a couple of seconds, feel the biting point. I can feel that already, shaking like mad, and then slowly bring the wheel back by pulling through your shoulders and core and maintaining that position. That's how you do an ab wheel rollout. Okay, so focus more on pausing for a few seconds at the biting point and feel your muscles shake like mad. Then as you get stronger, then you can progress it, but only progress it if you're confident you're still maintaining the position between your hips, knees and shoulders. i.e. like so. So you would come all the way down and you would hold it and then come back up. But crucially, you're maintaining the posture between the hips, shoulders and knee. So think more about the biting point in your core muscles and what you're trying to do, and hopefully that will help next time you go to the gym and do power wheel rollouts. Thanks.